Okay, let's start with what I would consider to be some standard, I'm going to call these, I mean this not in a diminutive way, but in a pedagogical way. We'll start with some advanced beginner transitions that I would want you to know for yourself as like a baseline. So in the family of butterflies, we have, and I'm going to mirror you for this section here. So let's take your right hand out and in, right? So you're just bringing it back and front. Back and front. So it's a figure 8 with just the right hand. Back and front, back and front. Nice. Yes, yes. And now let's do it with the left hand, back and front. And back and front. Okay, so you're right-handed. Okay, get to know. Got it? Yeah, the hitting happens. Balls to the face. This is, yeah. You could drop your right hand for a second and then take your left hand like this. And then let's just do the left hand alone to remind yourself what the transition is if you haven't done it recently. Front to back, front to back. There you go. There you go. Yeah, so let's do 10 of them. So one behind, one in front. One behind. Yeah, drills. Drills, drills. They're good for your heart. The more you do, the better your art. The better your art, the better you feel. So do drills if you're for real. To the Beans song, right? Okay, so this is one area of opportunity for you for sure. Okay, great. Well, this is a wonderful thing to uncover because then you'll know what drills to do. And as you're looking to ease back into it when you're coming back from your surgery, you can just work on some of these drills rather than harder stuff. There you go. Much better. Much better. Okay, and then the thing to keep going, don't stop. While you're doing it, when you bring it back behind, notice you don't want your angle to be like this. So notice how this is coming, instead of it being parallel to my hip line behind me, it's going diagonal this way when I'm flipping it back behind, right? So not this, but you do want this. Do you see the difference? I am. Yes, and what you have to be able to do is you have to be able to open up your shoulders sufficiently so that you can really hold your elbow back behind this midline of your body so that you can do that motion. It really helps. But you know, this is not something you would necessarily pick up from a video because videos are not 3D and videos don't actually stop and give you feedback. So much better. There you go. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so let's do 10, 9, 8, yeah, and it's not about the smack, it's about what you do after it. 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Okay, now let's go back to the butterfly and see if it'll work better now when you try and just take it out for a count and bring it back behind. You can. There you go. Nice. So alternating, that's great. This is one of the combinations. So there's 16 different combinations in each direction that I do. So this is one. Actually, this is 1, the butterfly. This is 2, where you do the right takeout. This is 3, where you do the left takeout. Then this is 4, where you alternate right in, left in, right in, left in. So you've done all 4 of those. Do you have split time? But you're doing it now, so I guess you do. Now let's go back to same time for a second, and let's see if you could do same time big, where you make a giant and then you come back in. So it goes big and back in. Great, yeah. So let's do small, 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 then big, and small, 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 and big, and small, 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 and big. And I find sound effects really help me. They may not help you, but they really help me. Okay, and now let's try that one in split time, right? So split time big, where you alternate one hand then the other. Nice. Look at, you're learning things already. Fantastic. So it looks like your challenge with this one, with the extension, is that you're doing this. So if you watch, so the split time butterfly going big If you watch me do it, do you see how the line is parallel to my hip in front of me? When you're doing it, it looks more like this, like an X. So what you want to do to practice this is, first of all, I recommend drill sandwiching. Drill sandwiching is where you do one set with your weak hand, one set with your dominant hand, and then a second set with your weak hand. So you're doing twice as many reps with the weak hand. And then what I would do is I would practice doing just these extensions like this without the other hand so that you can practice getting the circle, and then you can go up against a wall like this to make sure that it's really flat. And then you can get increasingly closer to the wall and reduce the amount of space to ensure that you're really getting a really clean line. And of course, it's probably obvious after I say it, but because I had a student complain about this once, make sure it's an empty wall so you don't knock anything off your wall. Both of them going up and over, because I saw you do the butterfly, the pinwheel before. You have this one. And then do you have this one where you hold it up there? Nice work, yeah, that's awesome. Okay, great. And then you did the pinwheel. I saw you do that one. Have you tried the pinwheel with the extension like this? Yeah, that one's a fun one. Okay, let's do one hand at a time on this before you try it with both hands. Let's do your left hand. You're up here like this, going front to back. And then when you do the extension, you're gonna reach across to the right and then come back behind, reach across to the right, come back behind. And by the way, this will help you somewhat with that butterfly in front of your body. And similarly, you could do this up against a wall so that you're making sure that you're getting flat lines when you do that extension as well. If you think about the pinwheel, and then you think about the corkscrew, right? They're basically the same move, just on two different planes, right? And the only difference is how far did you get it up? And did you get it up and keep it up in the pinwheel? Or did it sort of just fall back down into a corkscrew, right? So, and the thing is, I think this is a sort of nebulous in between place right here, right? This isn't, I wouldn't call it, is it a pinwheel? Maybe. Is it a corkscrew? Maybe. It can kind of pass for both at that 45. So the general rule of thumb I give my clients is, if you really are if you're trying to keep it up, keep your hand above your eyes the whole time. And then you want to have your hand no more than a hand's distance from your face. So if you look at me from the side, look at my forehead here where my hand is. Notice how my hand is above my eyebrows. And notice how close it is to my head. So if you have hair, you probably are going to feel the hair brushing on your hand as you're doing it.